Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear. Welcome back to Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. I'm Layla, and today we're going to dive into a topic that's often misunderstood: codependency in relationships. Today's topic is going to be about recognizing and overcoming codependency in your relationship. Whether it's you or someone else, this is going to help you break free. So if you are looking to break free from being codependent to your partner, this podcast is going to be for you. And if you know somebody that is codependent, this podcast will be for them. So I do encourage you to share this podcast with them. I'm going to give you a little tip though. Even though you want to share this podcast with them and you might feel like, what if they get offended and think that I am picking on them? Let me teach you a little technique that you can use. So let's say you got this person, this friend, every time they're in a relationship, they just completely forget that they have other friends. All they know is the person that they're with is their partner. Their partner this, their partner that, it's the partner everything. Well, you want to share this podcast with them, but you don't know how because you don't want to offend them. I would just tell them, hey, I've been listening to this podcast. It is pretty good. I think you will like it. Let me share an episode with you and you just tell me what you think. So basically what you're doing is giving them the opportunity to try to help you, which actually you're helping them. You get what I'm saying? Okay, now let's keep it going. So have you ever felt like you're always putting your partner's needs before your own? Like their happiness come first, even at the cost of your own well-being. That's codependency. And it might leave you feeling emotionally drained and discomfort or disconnected to yourself. So I want to talk more about what codependency is to give you an opportunity to identify if this is you or not. So in today's episode, we're going to explore what codependency really is. We're also going to talk about signs that you might be in a codependent relationship. And I want to let you know why it is harmful. You might not even know that it's doing you and your partner harm. Yeah. And I want to also, lastly but not least, I want to talk about how you can prioritize yourself first. You got to make sure that you come first, even though you might think that's a selfish thing. It is not, okay? And I will talk to you more deeply about that. So we will talk about how to prioritize yourself the way you deserve without neglecting your relationship. That way, you know that you are in a healthy relationship. This is an important conversation because a healthy relationship should add to your life, not take away from it. So let's get started, all right? So What is codependency? I hear that word quite often. At first, when I heard it, I really didn't know what it was. I really didn't care. But I was young. I'm still young, but I was younger and very naive, not to a place where I am at right now. So I want to first define what codependency is. So what it is that it's a pattern where one person become overly reliant on their partners for emotional validation, self-worth, or even their own identity. You don't even know who you are, so you need them to define you. Maybe like, I'm Chris's girlfriend, or I'm Elizabeth's husband. That's who I am. That's codependency. You don't really know who you are yet. So I want to be clear, okay? So let me make this clear. Needing and supporting your partner is normal. In a healthy relationship, partners depend on each other for love and encouragement. But the key difference is that in a healthy relationship, both person still maintain their own sense of self. You don't become all you can be for your partner and then you neglect yourself, okay? That's what you do not do. Codependency, on the other hand, is when one person's happiness depends entirely on keeping the other person happy. So let me just explain that a little bit deeper. You're in a codependent relationship, right? And the only way you can be happy is if your partner is happy. That is bad. Often at your own expense. That's the way that goes. So you don't really try to put yourself in a position to be happy. It's all about that person and their needs and their wants and their desires. And if they don't get any of those things in their life, they, so for instance, they feel like they need more emotional support, and the only way they will be able to be happy is that you constantly keep giving them emotional support, then over time that is going to take away from you. It's going to drain you. You're not going to have the energy to keep supporting them emotionally when you can't even do it for yourself. So many times this stems from childhood experiences or past relationships. Most people don't even realize that their codependency is rooted in something. It's not because of the fact that they just want to have that person in their life. It's really because something happened in your life that make you feel that whoever you are going to be with, you have to be 100% perfect for them. That is not good. And you do it at your own expense. So even if you feel like you must earn love by overgiving, or you feel guilty taking time for yourself, this might hit home for you. Just want you to hear me and hear me clearly, because I want to help you in this situation. I want to help you break this situation. So don't worry, okay? Don't worry. Awareness is the first step to change. That's what I want to give you the opportunity to understand. If you know that this is you, this has resonated with you, how can you tell if this is you? Let's say none of this is you. I'm about to go down a list of things that can identify that you are in a codependent relationship. Or let's say you're not in a relationship, but you have been in a relationship before in the past, and all your relationship has been this way. You're thinking about getting into another relationship, or you want to get into another relationship, and most likely it's going to be the same as the other ones, because you haven't done anything different to change yourself to make sure that your relationships will be better this time around. So let's talk about the warning signs of codependency. Let's see if any of these sounds familiar to you, okay? So, does this sound familiar to you? You always put your partner's needs before your own. For example, you cancel your own plans, sacrifice personal goals, and neglect self-care just to keep them happy. Is that you? Could that be you? Could there be someone that you know of, like your friend, your sister, your brother, someone else that you know of? Okay? Are you identifying this? Is this familiar to you in some kind of way? Okay, how about this one here? You feel responsible for their emotions. So here's an example. If they're upset, you immediately feel like it's your job to fix them. That is something that most women go through. We are nurturing by nature. Most women, some women are not, but most women are. We have that maternal instinct inside of us. So we are built to want to help when someone we love is hurting. But the thing is that the person that you love that is hurting is a grown person. They're not a kid. So it's not your job to fix an adult. Now, it's okay to support them, hear them out, listen to them when they're talking, to give them some emotional support in that way, but not to try to fix their problem. That is when it's going to become a problem for you, and that's the reason why it is not good to be codependent in that way. So how about this one here? You struggle with boundaries. Saying no make you feel guilty. You feel bad for asking for personal space or just time for yourself. I have a podcast about setting boundaries to teach you how to set boundaries a healthy way. And if you haven't listened to it, go back to season 6 and you get the opportunity to hear and to apply how to set these boundaries, because in any relationship, I don't care what relationship you have, from co-workers to parenting to your parents to your relationship, your romantic relationship to your friendships, you got to have boundaries. Because if you don't, people will use you, and they will use you until they use you up. And then when they use you up, they still trying to squeeze more out of you, and you have nothing else to give.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Carroll style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarrollstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like. And once they become aware that they are not able to get any more out of you, they dump you and leave you hanging high and dry. And then they look at you like you're the crazy person. Something is wrong with you. Why you don't have no more to give to them? Why are you not able to help them in any kind of way that they probably asking for your help? Or why are you not giving them your time? Time is valuable. We don't have a lot of it to give away as it is. And that is one of the most neglected thing that we neglect in our lives is our time. And we allow people to step all over our time, use our time up, disrespect our time, especially when they're late to something and you're sitting there waiting on them. That is very disrespectful. If they haven't called you, text you, emailed you, or whatever to allow you to make a choice if you want to wait for them or not. That to me is so selfish. I can't even fathom how selfish that is, but people do it. And then I believe that the reason why people do that is that you let them get away with it. The minute that you put a stop to it, and I mean like really put a stop to it, and the way you can put a stop to it is to be firm, be very assertive. And I also have a podcast about assertiveness that teach you how to be assertive and do it in a respectful way and still get results that you need. So I feel like when a person is disrespectful to your time, let's say you're at a restaurant and you are hungry, you're waiting for your friend or whoever the person is, and they're running 30 minutes behind, they haven't called you or said anything to you, and it's 30 minutes. And let's just say that you know this person very well. You know that they're always late for everything. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you something. Rest assured, it's going to come a time where you're going to need them to be on time, because you're going to be with people who are not going to allow their time to be disrespected. Just because you allow your time to be disrespected, they are not going to allow it. And you're going to have to step up and say something to the person that is late and say, hey, man, this is very, very, very disrespectful. And from now on, I'm not going to allow you to disrespect my time. So if we set a time and I don't hear from you letting me know that you're on your way and I'm sitting here waiting, I will no longer sit here and wait for you. You got 15-minute window. And if you haven't showed up or I haven't heard from you in that 15-minute time, I'm going to proceed on with whatever I got to do. That is going to help that person learn that you're not going to accept their behavior anymore. That's what you're going to have to learn how to do. And let's just say also with your boundaries, you got to have quality time for yourself because you need it. And the person chooses to not care. Well, your partner is just all over that. And I mean, what I mean by all over it, I'm talking about they just don't care. You do, but they don't. And they show it with their behavior. Here's an example. Let's say you come home, it's the weekend, and you don't want to go out. You just want to be at home. And they want to go somewhere because that's what they used to do. Or they used to doing that. And they want you to come. And you really don't feel like going. That's something that happened throughout the week that you need to unwind from before you go back to work and have to deal with it again. So basically, I call that decompressing. You need time to decompress. But your partner is not caring. They like, hey, we go out every weekend or we go do this, whatever y'all do. And you just not feeling it for that weekend. You have to say something. You have to be firm about it and you have to be clear. And then you have to enforce it. Hey, I said I don't want to go anywhere this weekend. Don't say it with an ugly attitude and all mad or angry or aggressive or any of those things. Just basically be like, hey, honey, this is just not a good weekend for me. I have had a very long week. I just want to curl up on the couch, have my little blanket on top of me, have me something to drink and some food, and just watch movies. And that's it. So if this is not something that you want to do, go ahead and go out and go do what you're going to do. But count me out this time. This would not be a every weekend thing. I'm not going to want to be alone all the time. But I need this weekend for myself. Can you understand that? And if your partner can't understand that, we'll talk about that a little bit later, okay? About understanding. So let's keep it going. What about this one here? Does this one here sound familiar to you? You have fear of abandonment. For example, you tolerate mistreatment or avoid conflict just to keep the relationship intact. I know people like this. Yeah. I have a friend, when we was in our 20s some years back or whatever, I remember we had a conversation and her boyfriend was cheating on her and she knew about it. But she accepted it because she told me out of her mouth, I am afraid to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I've never been alone like that, and I just don't want to. So she had a fear of abandonment. And that's how it is for some people. You don't know how to love yourself enough to be alone with yourself. So that way, when someone walk out of your life, you can let them go. And not only that you can let them go, you can let them go freely without chasing them down and trying to get them to come back to you. You can let them go, and you can let them go without being bitter, angry, and frustrated about people just never stay. Or they always leaving and what's wrong with me? Why I can't keep nobody? That kind of stuff. So yeah, if that's something that is familiar to you, and I'm pretty sure it's familiar to other people that you know, that's going to be an ongoing work in progress for you, because that's not something that just happened overnight. Something happened in your past that got you like that, to make you be afraid to be abandoned. Maybe someone like your parents, they didn't show up for you and they abandoned you or something like that. You know, I think about my son because of the fact that he is adopted and my brother is his biological dad, and his mother, his biological mother, you know, she didn't want to have children, and even though she had him and 3 other kids, she still didn't take care of her children. She didn't do right by them. And I think about my son because I don't want him to feel like he can't trust people because they're going to walk out of his life. I just don't want him to feel that he can have somebody in his life that he could trust, or he runs them away, because some people do that too. They would like on purpose sabotage the relationship because they feel that one day you're going to leave them anyway. And so they do everything in their power to try their best to sabotage the relationship. So let's talk about the next one, which is your self-worth depends on your relationship. If your partner is happy, you feel good. If your partner is unhappy, you feel like a failure. Is that you? That's how you feel about your relationship? Is it? Because of the fact that the only way you feel worthy is when your partner is showing you that he or she approves of what you have going on. So if they're happy with what's going on in their life, then you can be happy with what's going on in your own life. That's a deep one there, because your self-worth should never depend on another soul. It's a reason why you have one soul. Each person have one soul. Your soul is tailored to you and you only. There's not one human being that can define your self-worth except for you. I know this might not be easy because I can only explain what I have discovered from myself but I can also explain what I have noticed in other people when they have been able to discover their self-worth. Years ago, even before I married my deceased husband, even before I married my first husband, I knew my self-worth. I knew that I was worthy of something best, and I say the best that I can ever be. I knew that. I only had a problem with what that was. Like, what do I supposed to be in life? Because I was very talented in a lot of things, and I knew that my life wasn't defined by my talents. It had to be more than that, because there was so much inside of me that I was just trying to get out. It kept oozing out, So I kept saying, like, okay, I am great when it comes to helping people, whether it's acts of service or if it's me helping them get their mind right. Who would have known that was the actual thing that I was going to be really good at, and that was what I was created for. I found that out as I started going through my own trials and tribulations of dealing with people trying to change me, trying to make me who they wanted me to be. And I was like, this is not going to work, because I wasn't happy. I was never happy trying to fit into the mold of someone else. I was happy when I was myself. When I was able to be my best authentic self, that was when I found myself being truly happy. Now, a lot of people don't have that. And I say that you don't have it because you haven't tapped into it. You don't know how to tap into it yet. Or you just dismissed it for so long to where you don't even care to try. And if that is the case, you're missing out on so much greatness about yourself. You are missing out on so much of a great part of who you are. You got to tap into that. Try to tap into that. Learn your self-worth and what you are worthy of, and go for it. Don't let nobody take that from you. Life is tremendously too short. And I can say that because, yes, it's a cliche, but it is true. Because of the fact that I've just experienced it, there's no way that I thought that I was going to be going to my deceased husband, to go see that he had passed away. There was no way I would have thought that I was going to get a phone call saying that he passed away after we divorced. And 4 years is very short. We was together for 5 years, and then here it is 4 years later after the divorce of 2020, and then 2024 rolls in, and I get a phone call. Oh, he passed away. How in the world that someone who I thought had many more years left in them did not have that time anymore? That's why I say that time is valuable. That's why I say people should not be allowed to disrespect your time, because you don't know when your time is up. So learn your self-worth. Now, how do you learn self-worth, you ask? Let's see. The way I learned my own self-worth was affirmation. Before I wrote my book, 365 Days of Mindfulness, Your Daily Affirmation Guide, before I wrote that book, I already knew that I was made for greatness. So I talked to myself whenever I felt like someone was trying to change me. I would tell myself, wait a minute, you better than this. There's no way that I am going to sit here and let this person dictate to me how I should look, what I should wear, how I should do my hair, especially knowing that I love to do hair and I do my own hair. I don't pay anybody to do my hair. I don't sit in no one's salon chair or beauty shop kitchen and then let someone do my hair. I have been doing my own hair since I was 9 years old, and I went to cosmetology school for it. I did all the things that I needed to do to be equipped to do other people's hair. But the thing is that I experiment with my hair. Been doing that forever. So when I was with my deceased husband, he hated certain styles that I would wear because he wanted me to have this long, silky look, not white girl hair, not Caucasian hair, more like former First Lady Michelle Obama. Because he always would say to me, why don't you do your hair like hers? And I'm like, no, that's boring. I don't like that style. That's for someone who don't want to do their hair every day. I would change my hairstyle up every 2, 3, 4 days. If it's in braids, then maybe once a month. If it's in the little locks or whatever, maybe once every 3 weeks. But I change my hair so much. This is embedded in me. So when he would start trying to change that about me by saying little comments that was nasty and ugly wise, I had to tell myself, girl, you've been doing this for decades now. You've been with this guy, a few years? He don't have no right to tell you how you should look. So you don't need to let that bother you. Oh, that's how I would talk to myself. And just to take it even further, I would literally go and do another hairstyle that I knew he didn't like, just to get under his skin. But that was how I kept myself in my own world, to stay grounded and not try to conform to the way he liked for me to be. Because you have to understand, hey, people move on, whether it's because they're willing to move on or because tragically they pass away. But you cannot allow your happiness to be tailored and tied up into anyone else's happiness. All right? So let's keep it going. What about this one here? You're enable unhealthy behavior. So what do I mean by that? You make excuses for their bad choices or try to save them. That is something a lot of people do, especially women. We do this a lot. We're always trying to make excuses for our partner's bad behavior, knowing that they are wrong. All we know they are in the wrong, and not only that we know that they're wrong, they make us feel bad. The way we're feeling about the situation or about their behavior, we feel bad. But yet we still make an excuse about it. Whatever one resonates with you out of those list that I have described, whatever one resonate with you, if any of these hit home, you're not alone, okay? Many people struggle with codependency without realizing it. But the good news is you can break free and create a healthier dynamic. I want to also explain to you about why codependency is not good, why it is harmful. And it's not only harmful to you, it's also harmful for your partner too. Codependency doesn't just affect you. It affects your partner and your overall relationship and people who know you and who love you and who wants to have their quality time with you too. Yeah, that is a problem. And here's why it's a problem. Number one, it leads to burnout. Constantly taking care of someone else while neglecting yourself is emotionally and physically exhausting. Yes, it will drain you dry. Number two, it creates resentment. You might feel unappreciative and even bitter over time. And number three, it prevents growth. Both you and your partner need space to evolve as individuals for the relationship to truly thrive. If you're not allowing yourself to get that, he or she will not be able to get it either. All you're doing is pacifying them. It's just like a child who is learning how to walk and they fall, and you keep running to them to try to help them not fall. When would they ever be able to learn how to walk? Because now they're afraid to get back up and start walking and trying to walk again, because in their little brain, oh, I might fall again, and mom or dad gonna come running to me to rescue me. So how about I just continue to crawl? That's why you have to let it be. Give them the space that they need, and you get the space that you need. So the two of you can thrive. Do your own individual thing that you like to do and allow them to do theirs as well. If you are the type of person who needs a lot of attention, let's say your partner like to go out with his boys or her girls, and you gotta have attention. You want your partner to always be with you. That's either one or two things that's going on with you. You either don't trust your partner, and as long as you can have your eyes on your partner, you know that everything is okay. Or you trust your partner, but you just need their attention because you're so used to having someone show you attention. And you don't know how to entertain yourself. Well, that is why codependency is attached to you. That's why you're being codependent. Whether it's you depending on your person or your person codependent on you, it's a problem. It cannot exist for a very long time. It will eventually lose its power. Somebody gonna get tired of somebody. I'm just saying. Someone is gonna get tired of somebody. It might be you, it might be her or him. Someone gonna be tired of someone. It's draining. You're gonna have to figure out learning how to create some personal time and space for yourself. So the truth is, a healthy relationship isn't about one person giving everything. It's about mutual support and balance. This is what I'm talking about here. You have to have that support from each other, but you got to have balance where each other is getting the same. You support them, they support you. It's not that you are giving it all and they're receiving it all, or you receiving it all and they're giving it all. Not healthy. Anyone with two eyes can understand and see that that's not healthy. Okay? Well, do you want to know how you can break free from this? Well, let me help you. You must want to know. You have to want to know. And if you don't want to know, then I guess I can't help you. But if you really want to know how to break free and prioritize yourself without neglecting your relationship, now let's get to the most important part of this podcast. So I didn't talk enough about the little negative stuff. I want to talk about positive things to give you a chance to work through this and try to incorporate this into your relationship. Whether you are in a relationship now that's codependent, or you have been in relationships in your past that has been codependent, and you want to get into a new relationship, but you have to make these changes, these adjustments before you get involved in that relationship to help you to thrive better. So, how to break free from codependency and prioritize yourself without neglecting your relationship. Here's the first thing you need to do. Number one, communicate your needs openly. Yes. Let your partner know what you need to feel balanced and fulfilled. If you need alone time after work or time to pursue a hobby, let's say you play basketball or something like that, and you know good and well that your partner is not into sports, but this is something that you have to do. I remember a relationship that I dated this guy. He loved basketball. And I'm not talking about my husband now. I'm talking about someone way before him. He loved basketball. And he had this baby mother who he was in a relationship with. And of course, they ended up producing a child and everything. She stopped him from playing basketball because she would always complain every single time he would want to go and play basketball. And I remember when him and I used to have our conversations when we first met, he would talk about that. And he would always say, I like to play basketball. I will go to the court and I will shoot around. I will do my thing. And man, and he would say his son's name. I won't say his son's name, but he would say his son's name. And he'll say, yeah, my son, his mom, she always tried ways to stop me from going to go play ball. And I just got to a point where I just said, forget it. And I just gave up and I stopped playing. So now I don't even play ball anymore. I just sit around and just be under her. And I remember telling him, I said, well, playing basketball is pretty healthy. So it gives you the opportunity to lose weight, but also lose any type of negative energy that you might be carrying. You get the opportunity to be on the court and let it out, And he was like, I know that, but man, I just don't want to deal with it no more. And I'm tired of her nagging me and all that stuff and begging me not to go. And then sometimes she even get to a point where when I come home from playing ball, she want to argue and, all those things. And I was like, wow. I said, that's one of the things that I never really did. I never stopped whoever I was in a relationship with from doing the things that they enjoyed doing before they met me, because I think that is who they are, and that's what made them be the person that I like, And of course, in time, when a lot of time passed, they ended up breaking up and all that stuff like that. Maybe because I got in his ear a little too much with what's healthy and what's not, but maybe that's what that is. But either way it go, we ended up dating each other for about 6 months, and we both realized we was better off as friends and not romantic partners. So we agreed together to let each other go on and just be friends. Sometimes it be like that though. You find a person that you was better with as a friend than a romantic partner. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to realize that if y'all are not compatible for each other, you're just not compatible for each other. But what you want to do is express your needs. You have to express what is needed of you and what you need from them, because a loving partner will understand. If your partner is loving, they should understand. And they should also respect your needs. Number 2, here's another way you can break free from this. Set healthy boundaries. Have we talked about that? I talk about boundaries quite often, and I am sincere about it, because I have learned that when you set boundaries, people, for some reason, it's like it's an invisible line. Even though it's invisible, it can be felt. Like, basically, they can feel the energy when they're about to cross it. And when the boundary is about to be crossed, that is the opportunity for that person to make a decision to cross it or not. And you can make a decision to say, wait a minute, you basically just disrespected my boundaries and I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with you, or whatever the case may be. You can start making a sound, logical decision with whatever you're going to do about that at that point. So remember, saying no is not selfish. It's self-care. You can love yourself and you can love your partner all while protecting your own well-being. There's nothing wrong for you to say, I love myself and I love you too. But baby, I'm not going to let you disrespect me. So I am going to definitely protect my well-being. So keep that in mind. Number 3, practice self-care without guilt. Taking care of yourself, whether that's through exercise, reading, meditation, or simply resting, because we all need that good old-fashioned rest. I know I did yesterday. Ooh, man, I was so fatigued yesterday. It's not even funny. Oh my goodness, I had a rough day yesterday. I just gotten back to work here and flying and everything. I've been off for 3 weeks, and sometimes when I take that long kind of break like that, it takes me a little while to really just get back into the habit. I be in that sluggish mode, like, I don't feel like this. But at the same time, I know that I can easily jumpstart my battery and get right back into the habit. Well, we had a lot of turbulence yesterday, and I mean a lot. It was so crazy to where I was so nauseous. I felt like throwing up, and I flew 3 different flights, and don't really want to get deep into it, but what I will say is this. The other flight attendant I was working with, she got injured because of the turbulence, and I almost got injured too, but I was able to catch myself from hitting the door, and she hit the door, but I was able to catch myself to keep myself from doing that, because that turbulence was something serious. And the thing is that when I got back to the hotel, she had to go to the hospital, and I was exhausted. So I told my husband, I said, this has just not been one of those days. I have been really, really going through it today. I'm exhausted. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, which I had. I was gotten up at 3 o'clock that morning. I didn't get much sleep the night before, which is hard for me to do when I got to get up so early, because I feel like I'm going to oversleep. So I don't ever go into the REM sleep when I have to get up anytime before 6 a.m. For some reason, my mind won't shut off, even though I can sleep, but I'm not really asleep. And I got up, and I was still tired, like so tired. And then by the time I got to the hotel, I needed to go to sleep, and my husband called, and I was like, I can't do this today, babe. I need to sleep. And here it is, 4 o'clock? Was about 4 o'clock when we land, and I know it's early. Well, to most of you guys, you might say, man, that's early. I didn't care. I needed to go to sleep. My brain was like, food, clean myself up, bed. That was it. Nothing else. So, and that's exactly what I did. I ate, I cleaned myself up, and then I got into bed, and then my husband called, and I said, you would call me right when I'm about to go to sleep, but I'm glad you called before. That way I can go ahead and get this out the way, but I cannot be on the phone with you long. I just won't be able to do it. So I'm letting you know right now, when we get off the phone, don't call back. Because I'm not going to answer. And if I do, I'm going to be grouchy. And so he was like, understand, babe. Go ahead and get your sleep. I just want to hear your voice. And I'm glad you made it to the hotel safe. Good night. And that's how it have to be sometimes. You have to be really clear about what it is that you need and not feel guilty, because I know I'm used to talking to him when I get to the room, and I'm like, oh, this is not that day. And you know what's funny about it? Vice versa. Today is the day where he's exhausted, and I called him 3 times and he wasn't answering the phone. So I got on the camera at the house, and I see him laying on the couch, and I'm like, I'm calling you, and he's like, babe, I'm tired. And I say, you know what? You gave me my space yesterday, and I feel so much better, and I'm more alert, and I don't want to do you like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get you some sleep, especially while you at the house by yourself before our son come home from school. So go ahead and get your sleep. I'll talk to you later. And that is something that you want to try to do. You want to be assertive. You want to practice your self-care, and you want to practice it without feeling guilty about it. Even if, let's say for instance, that you don't know how, kind of play around with it a little bit. But don't be too playful, because they won't take you serious if they think that you was just joking. Oh, I thought you was just joking. I know you was for real about that. No, just say, look, I just wanted you to know that this is nothing against you. This is just who I am. I do need this extra time to go work out, or I have this great book that I really am good in like, this book is so freaking good. I really want to finish it up. So let me go ahead and get that time that I need to finish this book. Or, I chose to start meditating. I know I never did it before, but I need it because it is helping me think better and not be in my mind and in my own head all the time. So I need this clarity, this meditation time. Help them to understand sometime, but don't overly explain yourself, because then they can start manipulating you, okay? And you don't want that. Not saying that your partner is manipulative, but it can lead into that if you constantly keep explaining yourself. So these things doesn't have to take away from your relationship. In fact, when you feel your best, you bring your best self into the relationship. That's one reason why you want to start making sure that you practice self-care. So how about number 4? Number 4 is something that a lot of young people do, like the fresh relationship, young, fresh love. You just start a relationship, you just met this person, or y'all just started hanging out. You want to try to not get in this trap, because I've gotten into this trap so many times that it is not even funny. Number 4 is encourage your partner to do the same. Yeah. Encourage them to have some personal time for themselves. Yeah, it's needed. A strong relationship isn't about being together 24/7. It's about supporting each other's individually growth. Yeah. If both partners take care of themselves, the relationship becomes even stronger. I used to have, this is what the problem, I remember my first marriage. When we got married, I wanted to continue to go and hang out with my friends. Not every day, but when I chose the days that I wanted to, he didn't like that. And I used to always try to encourage him to go to his friend's house, because he had friends, but he wasn't going nowhere. He was always in the house. And if he wasn't in the house, of course, he was at school or something like that. And I was like, dang, you need to do something. You can't just be in the house, and then every time I want to go somewhere, you got to have a problem with me due to the fact that you want me to sit up underneath you. And most of the time, we wasn't doing anything. He was playing a video game, and I'm not a video game person. I don't really like sitting around watching people play the video game. And I don't play video games. I will go to the arcade and I will play hands-on video games in the arcade. That is fun for me. But to sit on my couch with a joystick in my hand on the television, no. I did that when I was a kid. I'm a true believer of when I was a child, I thought as a child. But now that I am grown, I put away childish things. Yeah, that's pretty much me. But I still have childish in me. Like, I have the kid-like qualities in me. I know how to have fun. I am very goofy and all that stuff like that. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of taking care of business and getting things done, that is me. And I realized that we was not compatible in that area, because he was making money because he was on disability from the military. So they was paying him for the rest of his life. So he had a nice check coming in, which he still do right now to this day. Nice check. I mean, he making more money than most people with a job. I'm just saying. But the thing is that he had nothing else to do. And I was like, man, do something with your time. So he went back to school, and now what else, And I still, at that time, I was 24, 25, I was young. I wanted to go out, and he didn't really want to go out. And I'm thinking like, dang, why? Let's go out together. Let's have fun. Let's just do young people stuff. And nope, he wanted to act like an old dude, sitting in the house, doing nothing but playing video games. But if you can encourage your partner to do the same as you, as far as finding what is valuable to you, they can find what's valuable to them. Not just only the relationship, but what's valuable outside of your relationship. All right. That will help keep your relationship interesting. You will have something to talk about. What can you talk about when you are together all the time? What can you talk about besides y'all getting on each other's nerves at some point? Just saying, And then there's number 5. Make time to connect. Now, this is when it gets fun, Make time to connect. Prioritizing yourself doesn't mean neglecting your partner. Set aside quality time where you're both present. Both of you are engaging with each other without distractions like the TV or the phone or whatever. My husband and I, we go on a date all the time. I already said this before. We go on dates. Now, what I did not say is that he got this thing where he's always got to be on his phone. And I've learned in my dating stage, don't let the phone be a distraction while you're dating. If you really want to get to know the person you're with, put the phone away. And I used to practice that. So I realized he don't practice that. He don't do that. And I remember saying something to him about that. I said, you and that phone, like you just stay on the phone all the time. Let's talk to each other. He said, what we got to talk about? You're my wife. I say, what? Really? It's like that? And then of course he started laughing or whatever. I said, no, I'm serious. Don't make no joke out of this. I am not finna sit here and let you sit there be on your phone while I'm twiddling my thumb. Yeah, I can get on my phone too, but then we're not on a date then. If I'm on my phone, you're on your phone, and we sit at the table eating, we're practically just by ourselves, really entertaining our own self. That's not healthy. So I told him, when you take me out, and I said these words, when you take me out, I don't care what you have going on, I need your time. So put that phone away, talk to me, let's talk and have a conversation like we did when we first started dating. That way I can stay engaged with you. You can stay engaged with me. In your basketball world, let that be when I'm not around. I mean, I don't care if we go to basketball games, something like that. That's different. But we're on a date, and it's supposed to be about me and you. And at first, he took it like, what's wrong with you? That's not like you. And I said, no, I've been patient. I've been watching you. I've been paying attention to you. And I've been waiting to see if you're going to stop doing that. And you haven't. So I have to speak up. I have to let you know that this bothers me. I need you to give me your attention when we are on our dates. Stop talking to everybody on the phone and stop being on your phone constantly. I feel like that's rude. And I started getting kind of an attitude at this point. I really did. Because now I'm starting to get in my feelings. And he looked at me like, okay, she is serious. And now, from now on, when we go on dates, he's like, babe, I don't want this to be a problem. So can I just make this one phone call? I've been trying to get in touch with this person for a minute, and I think this is the only time I can get in touch with him. Is it okay for me to call? And I'm like, yeah, sure, make your phone call, but don't be on the phone for 3 hours talking to him. Like, I'm not trying to be picky or bossy, but I am letting it be known that bothers me when I'm on a date with you. Now, when we at home, I don't care about you on the phone. Talk to whoever you want to talk to all day, all night. It don't bother me. But when we are on our date, that is my time. And I am serious about my time. And he knows that. So I really believe that if you can set healthy boundaries and you can make time to connect with each other, the goal is to balance self-love with relationship love. A relationship should complement your life, not consume it, okay? So, I hope that I have said enough to get you to start incorporating some of these things into your life, into your relationship. Now, I want to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. I know that it's not easy to get in touch on this platform, okay? But I want to give you my website. My website is imagingcoaching.com. Go on there and subscribe. When you subscribe, you can email me. You can write me whatever you want to write. Let me know, how are you doing? Do you have any struggles with codependency in your relationship? Or maybe you had struggles, but you overcame them. Have you found any new ways to prioritize yourself while keeping your relationship strong? Tell me about it. I would love to hear from you. This will make a great communication between me and you. So just let me know. But I would just also would like for you to share your experience if you have any questions, or maybe you have a suggestion for a future episode that you want me to talk about relationship wise, because this year 2025 is about relationships. It could even be about parenting relationship. It can be about friendship relationships. It don't have to just be about romantic relationships. It can even be about co-worker relationship, whatever it may be. If you want to talk about something, you want to discuss anything, email me. You can email me at Alayla without the I. Let me spell it to you. So it's going to be ALALA PYT, that stands for pretty young thing, at yahoo.com. Okay? And just say, hey, Alayla, I am yada, yada, yada. I've been listening to your podcast, and I would love for you to discuss a topic about X, Y, and Z. And hey, you never know. I just might do it. So now, if it's a topic that I don't know anything about, I'm not gonna discuss it. I would not talk about nothing that I don't know. I'm just letting you know. If I don't know, I'm not talking about it. I talk about things that I am very familiar with and that I have experienced, and also that I am knowledgeable on. So if it's something I cannot discuss, I want to let you know. Sorry, I don't know much about that, so I'm not going to be able to talk about that. But if it's something I know something about, I will go ahead and discuss it, okay? So just remember, prioritizing yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary for you to have a healthy and lasting relationship. When you feel whole and balanced, you bring more love, patience, and energy to your partner. If this episode helped you in any kind of way, share it with someone you think might need to hear it. Let them hear it. Say, hey, like I said earlier, I got something I want you to hear. I want you to listen to. Let me know what you think about it. And then they're going to be listening to it with the mindset of trying to give their opinion based on what you asked them, instead of taking offense, like, wow, is she judging me? Is he judging me? And it's going to hit home in some kind of way to them, especially if they are like what I described as codependent. They will have some form of feeling that's going to run through them and say, man, this sounds like me. I do this. I didn't know I was codependent like that. So, yes, share this with anyone that you think that needs this and needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. That way, the next time that I put up another episode, you would get it right away. And please start leaving some reviews. I would love to get some reviews. Go to my website to leave the review. You can leave a review where you are, but it would be nice if you go to the website. Go to imagingcoaching.com/podcast and leave a review. You will see a blue tab on the left side of the screen in the middle that says review. Tap on it, click on it, and then write a review on the podcast on what you think about it. So don't forget that you can reach out to me anytime with your thoughts and questions. I would love to hear from you and answer any questions you might, or just read your thoughts or your experience of what you've been going through. I would love to be able to start listening to you, okay? So if you have a topic that you want to talk about, let me know. Until next time, remember, a healthy relationship starts with a healthy you. Take care, and I'll talk to you next episode of Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. Signing out, Layla.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com.